Good evening and welcome to Falcon Update, live on MC77. I'm Curtis Seaman.
And I'm Dan Allen. Messiah women's basketball is back, and after finishing last season with a MAC championship and a trip to the Sweet 16, the Falcons were looking to start the season off with a bang. York would be the opponent for the opening match. A minute left in the first. This is freshman Trinity Summerall. She puts one off the glass and in for her first 2 points of her college career. Just a few seconds later, this one is Macy Thornton, She takes a pass, pulls up, puts it in for 2 just before the end of the quarter. Falcons still down. This one's Elena Oleski lays it off the glass. Alicia Rohr gets the rebound, puts it in for 2. Fourth quarter now, Messiah down by 7. Macy Thornton gets a pass, drains the 3. 2 minutes left in the game now. Trinity Summerall again pushes through defenders and puts it off the glass for 2. Messiah now down by 1. Messiah, however, would stay down as they dropped their season opener by a score of 69-66.
It was the season opener and the Town Suite Tip-Off tournament for the men's basketball team on Friday night as they faced off against the Clark Summit Defenders. In the first half, and Messiah leading 20-12, Colin Soreka misses the open 3, but Nate Eberle rebounds the miss and puts it back up and in for 2 and extends Messiah's lead. The Falcons still leading 22-18, and it's Eberle again driving and dishing to Will Young for that deuce. That was one of Eberle's 3 assists on the night. Second half now, and the Falcons out to the huge lead and adding to it as Josh Darville passes to Zach Madano, who misses but follows it up for the putback and 1. Still second half, and check out the sweet spin move and jumper by Morris Taylor. The defenders doing anything but that, as the final score was Messiah 86, Clark Summit 57. The Falcons were led by Matt Glagowski, who scored 19 points, and Darville and Madano both added 12.
Women's swimming split their double duel against the Gettysburg Bullets and the Susquehanna Riverhawks in Gettysburg on Saturday afternoon. The Falcons defeated the Riverhawks 132-128, but fell to the Bullets 147-114. Top finishes in the 400 free relay and 200 medley relay highlighted the team effort for Messiah. The Falcons also claimed a trio of individual victories, with Kaylee Hollenbach taking first in the 100 and 200 back, while Casey Cotton claimed first in the 100 fly. Men's swimming also traveled to Gettysburg on Saturday, but dropped both duels to their opponents. The men fell to Susquehanna Riverhawks 168-91 and the Gettysburg Bullets 61-21. The men turned in a total of 9 top 3 finishes on the day. The 400 free relay highlighted the team effort for the men as the only first place finish. The Falcons also collected 7 top 3 individual finishes. Daniel Logan and Ridge Hagar helped in the Falcons' efforts, contributing 2 top 3 finishes each. Logan placed 3rd in the 200 free before earning 2nd in the 500 free, and Hagar took 3rd in both the 100 back and 200 back. Both the men and the women will be back in the pool on Tuesday against Dickinson in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Messiah field hockey faced off against Endicott in the second round of the NCAA playoffs. And the teams were lining up on the cold day, getting ready for the game. Over halfway through the first, Messiah got on the board as Kezia Lote finds Kristen Levesque for the goal, and Messiah goes up 1-0. Just a few minutes later, in the same score, Lote again with an assist, this time to Josie Weaver, and she puts it in to give Messiah a 2-0 lead. Second half now, same score, 2-0. Jenny Young collects a rebounded shot, and she scores to give Messiah a 3-0 lead. Messiah just dominating every aspect of this game. 2 minutes later, this time it's Kezia Lote with a goal, and she gives Messiah a 4-0 lead. Messiah absolutely pouring it on. They would go on to win by that score and advance to the third round in the NCAA playoffs for the 3rd straight season, where they will take on the Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Messiah Wrestling traveled to Bristol, Rhode Island to battle in the Roger Williams Invitational on Saturday. Stephen Maloney finished as the runner-up at 149 pounds to lead the Falcons to a 3rd place finish. 7 other wrestlers finished in the top 6 in their respective weight classes. Josiah Gare, Nick Nunez, Lee Castle, Matt Pangle, David Stevens, Victor DeFrance, and Brian Schermeyer. Overall, Messiah earned 118 points to hand them the 3rd place finish behind Johnson and Wales with 153.5 points and host Roger Williams with 132. The men will be back in action on November 17th in Salem, Virginia.
The men's soccer team took on Baruch University in the first round of the NCAA tournament on Saturday. The Falcons came into the game with an undefeated record of 16-0-3. Early on in the first half, senior Nick West takes the free kick, but it goes just wide and to the left of the goal. Now at the start of the second half, and Samuel Ruiz Plaza rips a shot that is saved by the keeper, but it ricochets out to Adam Cole, who crosses it to Britt Hazeltine, and he puts it away for Messiah's first goal of the game, and the Falcons bench absolutely loves it. Still in the second half now, with Ruiz Plaza once again wanting to take the shot from outside the 18. He does, and it goes just over the keeper and into the corner. What a shot. Messiah now leading 3-0, and Nick West takes a shot that bounces out to Hazeltine, who again rips the shot that goes high off the crossbar but down and into the goal. The Falcons would add one more goal and finish off the Bearcats with a final score of 5-0 and move on to face the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays on Sunday.
Sports isn't done yet. We'll have more when we get back. Stay tuned.
Welcome to GoMessiah.com, the official website of Messiah College Athletics. On the homepage, you can find recent stories, a social media directory including general athletics and sport-specific accounts, and the Falcon YouTube stream. Scrolling down, you can view upcoming events with stats, audio, and video links if available, as well as recent results, including box scores and recaps. In those recaps, you can read the story along with view the photo gallery, next game information, team schedule, and roster. Game stats are on the side, and you can even watch the highlight of the night. These highlights are made possible by GoMessiah.tv, where you can view live streams and stats for all home games, regardless of where you are. GoMessiah.com, your home for everything Falcon.
Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Well, GoMessiah.tv allows us to reach a greater fan base for all of our parents of student athletes who are out of state and can't make it to a lot of our games, or even our growing alumni base. It's awesome to be able to have the opportunity for them to touch base with us and watch our games live and enjoy seeing where the program's going.
The number 2 ranked Messiah women's soccer team traveled to Rochester, New York for the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament on Saturday. This is the women's 19th straight appearance in the tournament, and they enter without allowing a single goal since, get this, September 19th. That's almost 2 months without allowing a goal. The Falcons continued that streak and advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament after a 2-0 shutout over the Centenary Cyclones on Saturday. The 2 goals came from Brooke Firestone in the 23rd minute and Megan Mansfield in the 65th minute. The Falcons outshot the Cyclones 24-0, registering 16 shots in the first half alone. The victory moved the Falcons on to face RIT Tigers on Sunday.
Men's and women's cross country competed in the Division III Mid-East Region Cross Country Championships on Saturday. The women fought through 20-mile-hour winds and mud and placed 6th place out of 47 teams. Messiah finished as the 2nd place MAC Commonwealth team, just missing Misericordia by 24 points. Leanne Weaver led the way for the Falcons, taking 18th place out of 341 runners. Wow, good for her, to earn all-region overall. The women had 6 runners in the top 100, including top 55 finishes from Weaver, Sarah Codd, and Leah Southall. This was the best placing finish for the Falcons since 2008, when the women took 3rd place. Leanne Weaver stands as the only runner from the women's team advancing to the Division III NCAA National Championship in Winnacone, Wisconsin on Saturday.
On the men's side of things, the Falcon finished in 4th place and were the first MAC team to finish in the regional championships as well. According to head coach Dale Fogelsanger, 7 runners entered the race with the goal of racing at nationals. Ben Schott, Tyler McFeeters, and Galen Fitzke led the pack for Messiah, finishing in 13th, 34th, and 35th places respectively, all earning all region. Kyler Shea and Zachary Lofties were the next Falcons to cross the finish line, earning 46th and 53rd respectively. Kirk Mummert and Nate Romberger also contributed to the Falcons' efforts, both finishing in the top 100 of 357 runners. Ben Schott will advance to his 3rd straight Division III National Championships as the only runner from the Messiah men's team.
In the Elite 8 on Sunday, Messiah matched up against Johns Hopkins, the winner advancing to the 4th round of the NCAA tournament. The game was scoreless. Heading into the second half, Johns Hopkins struck first, but by the end of regulation, the game was tied at 2-2. In double overtime, the Blue Jays got the golden goal, ending Messiah's stellar season. The loss was the Falcons' first loss of the season.
Women's soccer looked to overtake RIT in their second match of the weekend in Rochester, New York on Sunday. The women earned a spot in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament after defeating the Tigers 1-0. That's another shutout win for the women. The only goal came from Maddie Cole in the 19th minute off her own corner kick. Overall, the Falcons outshot RIT 15-5 with 7 of those 15 shots on goal. The women will face the Lynchburg Hornets in the 3rd round at a time and location still to be determined. Lynchburg earned their date with the Falcons after defeating the Emory Eagles 2-0 in the 2nd round. Messiah and Lynchburg last met in the sectional finals in 2014 when the Hornets advanced on penalty kicks. Messiah holds an all-time record of 2-0-2 against the Hornets. Look out for game details still to come.
In the second round of the NCAA tournament, the men's soccer team took on the 13-4-2 Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. Early on in the first half, Shea Quinton crosses the ball across the middle, where Britt Hazeltine heads it up to Nick West, who double-heads it into the goal to give Messiah the early lead. The goal was West's, can you believe this, 25th of the season. Second half now, and it's once again West streaking down the sideline all alone, and he beats the defender and then the goalie to give Messiah the 2-0 cushion for his 26th goal. Messiah would hold on and win by this score and will move on to the 3rd round to face the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons next Saturday. One of the Falcons' 3 ties this season came against the Red Dragons back in August when they tied 2-2 at Shoemaker Field, so we should be in for a good one.
That is all for sports, but when we come back, we will have Dr. Doug Curry with us, and he's going to be talking about the Worship Group 7 here on campus. Stay tuned. The way I worded that, the last time they've shut out me since, and I was like, crap, I just flipped the script, and so I froze for a little bit, and I was like,
career and vocation. So if you're an incoming student and you're saying, I don't know what I should major in, or I've picked a major and I don't know what I should do with that major, we are a great place to come because we offer one-on-one counseling for students. There are 6 career coaches in our office that meet every day with lots of appointments to help you with your questions about a career and jobs and internships. So we do one-on-one counseling. If you've never built a resume, we can help you with that and correct that. If you've never done a practice interview, we do those. If you would like to meet with professionals in the field, we help you with that. Into the city is where each semester we take a trip to a major metropolitan area and take students with us. And we go with the sole purpose of helping students experience businesses and places of work in a large urban area. We've been to New York City, Boston, currently we're leaving for Chicago, Baltimore, Nashville, Charlotte. So all the major cities we have been trying to get to, and we take students with us so that they can find out what it's like to live in the city and work there.
I really enjoyed my time going to Nashville. It was a really great opportunity to really understand what networking is, just being able to see, wow, you know, from Messiah, that I could go and work in some of these big companies and small companies. Don't wait too long to go to the Career Center. They're here every day to want to help you. I know that really benefited me going there first year to be able to talk through my major change, what exactly a resume was, things to not say in an interview, a lot of different skills that were really beneficial that helped me get a leg up even from a first year student. I know sometimes you think, oh, I don't need to start thinking about this till sophomore, junior year, but there's a lot of resources that they have that can really help you get a step ahead.
Welcome back. I am joined by Dr. Curry, who is the worship pastor here on campus. He is also a professional vocalist and choral director. How are you?
Doing really well.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So to start us off, can you kind of describe to us what your job consists of and what you really do?
Sure. So about 75% of my role is in the Messiah College Ministries office as worship pastor, and I give oversight to a variety of ministry planning as it relates to chapel services. I serve as the advisor to Powerhouse. Basically anything that happens on campus, whether it's for students or for the entire community as a whole as it relates to worship. Mm-hmm. And then 25% of my role is as a faculty member. I give oversight to the music and worship degree program. That's part of the music department. So I have a teaching component and a pastoral component to what I do.
Okay. So now, what is your process for planning campus worship services?
So I work with the other college pastoral staff. So Don Opitz, the college pastor, and Evie Telfer, and Brian Smith and I, we sort of shape out an entire semester at a time in terms of speakers and topics, and we work with Kairos and Salt and Light in helping them to plan their Thursday morning chapels as well. And then our Sixers, the Thursday 6-week series, I lead one of those this fall as well with Todd Allen. That's really cool. And then my role is to work with the worship community. Those are our student leaders who are involved in giving leadership to worship. And so I'm roughly at about half of their rehearsals, but I do a lot of my work with them behind the scenes in helping prepare and working alongside students to design and plan.
Okay. Now you just mentioned about the worship groups. So what is the worship group 7?
So the worship group that's called 7 really is the name of our summer group, our summer worship band. And they, from mid-May until mid-August, they go all around the Mid-Atlantic region, leading worship in churches, in camps, and a variety of different kinds of settings. And then we use the term 7 to also describe any groups that give leadership on or off campus during the academic year. It's just a little too confusing to have another name of the group. Okay.
So other than spread the word and such, what other things what do the groups do in the community?
Well, involved in some service to the community, a variety of different places. Actually, 7 is heading out this coming Friday night to do a local church's youth group event. We have done some downtown things in Hershey where, you know, pretty much just their skill, their musical skill and artistry is on display. We had a pretty humorous time 2 summers ago when we were at the Harrisburg Senators game playing under the Budweiser tent.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of cool, you know, Messiah College under the Budweiser tent. You know, we weren't really being sponsored by Budweiser, and that's not really a covenant connection that we wanted there.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny to see Messiah College 7 in the Budweiser tent.
So how often does this group meet then?
So 7's throughout the summer, of course, and that for them is their summer job. So they receive a stipend for what they do. So they're rehearsing every single day. They also do some recording on campus, and we put those recordings out online. And then the worship community during the year rehearses every Monday night. There's a group of students rehearsing, not always the same group. That's part of the trick, is trying to get about 40 students involved in a variety of different ways as the semester progresses. So we're meeting fairly frequently, and then all of us gather about once a month to do some teaching together, do some things like meet with the tech crew if we're having issues that we need to work out, that sort of thing.
Okay, so now what's the audition process like to get into one of these groups?
So it is, so for the summer group, since it is a stipended position, we actually audition them a week from tonight.
Oh, okay.
We start the audition process, and then we have callbacks in December so that the students who are going to be in the group know before they leave for Christmas break whether they need to get another job or not over the summer. In the academic year, the worship community in 7, they audition the first week because they can take it for academic credit.
Yeah, okay.
Or not. And so we need to make decisions really early on in the semester. Yeah.
Okay, so what type of impact do you think that these groups have on the people that are involved?
The people that are involved. Well, our primary, I think our primary aims are to help them establish and equip themselves as skilled leaders who are also people after God's own heart, you know? And not just that they're skilled in their individual craft as a musician, and not just skilled as a band, like not just tight as a band, but also gifted in the capacity to lead others into singing and participating with them in worship. We're pretty adamant about the fact that we don't want worship on campus with any of our groups or off campus simply to be the group itself, giving leadership and everybody just sits and listens and doesn't actively participate. Part of their skill and their artistry is to be collaborative in what they do and to engage the community in actively participating. So that the students who are involved are growing in their capacity to understand what worship is, to certainly develop their craft and artistry as musicians, but also to understand how the nature of musical worship impacts the church and it can impact students in camps and local church youth groups that are engaged by us. And I'll say one more thing. This past summer, one of our members of 7 sort of discovered a new vocational path as a result of his being in 7, and discovered that perhaps he might want to become a worship pastor in the context of a local church. I'd never really thought of that before this summer.
Wow, that's really awesome. Now to kind of wrap this whole thing up, sum it all up, so what is your outlook in the future for these services?
I think we always want to keep 2 things first and foremost. First, that this tool of musical worship has a vertical dimension to it. We want to render praise and glory to God for all that God has done for us in the past, in the present, and into the future. And so we want to represent that but we also want to reflect the nature of our community, all the different places from around the world that we come, the many denominations, styles and forms of worship. And so there's the vertical aspect of us worshiping the Lord directly, and there's a communal aspect of us recognizing how we are transformed as a community and how we are bonded together. And we've discovered this fall some ways that this has impacted our community in ways we hadn't anticipated. When one of our own, Ethan, was tragically killed in that accident, and that afforded us the opportunity to reflect well about our lives and what we're giving to our craft and to leading others in musical worship. It was very important to Ethan. So we're continuing to learn about that aspect of things as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on the
You're
show.
welcome.
I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have. Stay tuned for Campus Calendar coming up next. All right. Thank you. You did
Way to
very
go.
good.
Adventure education is defined as the use of adventurous activities as a catalyst for personal and interpersonal growth. It's as much about the education as it is about the adventure. Within our program here, you definitely learn the leadership, and so together you get the complete package of not just the technical skills, but how to utilize and design those adventure experiences to help groups reach their goals.
Well, as an adventure ed major, you have to take certain outdoor activities courses. So you have the options of doing rock climbing, you could do canoeing, you can do caving, and learning all these cool activities that you could never do sitting in a classroom. It's definitely what makes this program awesome.
Welcome back to MC77. I'm JoJo King, and here is this week's campus calendar. Have the unexpected twists and turns of life thrown you for a loop this year? Are you feeling challenged by the upcoming holidays? Reflect, process, and prepare for the holiday season with the Blue Christmas Dance performance put on by the Messiah College Theater and Dance Department. The performance will be in Poorman Black Box Theater on Wednesday, November 15th from 7 to 8 p.m. The event is completely free, but due to limited seating, you must reserve a ticket by either visiting www.messiah.edu/tickets or reserving tickets at the door as available. Messiah will host a choristers workshop featuring Dan Forrest. Forrest will put together a concert featuring Messiah College Women's Ensemble, the Messiah College Symphony Orchestra, as well as other groups. The event will take place on Thursday, November 16th from 7 to 9 p.m. in Palmer Hall. Tickets are $10 for adults, $3 for youth under 18, and $5 for senior citizens. This weekend is your last chance to see Messiah College's production of The Tempest. The last performances of the semester are Thursday, November 16th and Friday the 17th from 8 to 10 p.m. and Saturday, November 18th from 3 to 5 p.m. in Miller Theater. Tickets for the play are $10 for adults, $7 for senior citizens, youth, and Messiah students with a valid ID. Messiah College will be hosting a student-run concert on Wednesday, November 15th at 7 p.m. The concert is put on by the Contemporary Music Center, or CMC, from Nashville, Tennessee. CMC takes students from around the country and teaches them how to run their own concert tour. This year's tour includes some of Messiah's own, including Isaiah Snyder, Gemma Detweiler, Jason Polanski, and Casey Lehman. So get out and show some support for your friends as they put on this completely free concert at the Student Union on Wednesday. That's all for this week's campus calendar. I'm JoJo King.
Thank you, JoJo. That's all for this week's show. Be sure to tune in next week and stay tuned for MC Live coming up next.
For Curtis Seaman, Billy Davis, and JoJo King, I'm Dan Allen. Have a great night, everybody.
Job on campus for next semester, the Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
This is the Grantham Community Garden. We grow over 40 different crops here, all grown organically, all by students, always student-led. We're one of the most profitable student organizations on campus. Everything that we grow here we sell, and that keeps the garden going and also pays the people who work in it. And now we're trying to work our way towards being a small farm. We have more paid student workers than we've ever had before.
Hi, my name is Abigail McBride. I'm an alumnus of Messiah College. I was the head tutor of the Writing Center for about 3 years. In high school, a lot of us are taught the phrase, and I still hear it from students in the Writing Center, but a lot of us were taught the phrase, a thesis says what you're going to say in the order that you're going to say it. And that's a helpful concept because it teaches you how to put multiple ideas into one sentence. But the problem is it creates theses that are more like a list of ideas. This paper will talk about X, Y, and Z versus an actual claim, which is what you're expected to do in a college paper. You're supposed to take a risk. It's supposed to be the actual argument of your paper wrapped up into one sentence. One way I like to talk about it is, you know, a thesis, that's just your list. Your high school thesis, so it's kind of more like your list of ideas. But in college, it should sound a little bit like you are fighting with your mom. You wouldn't say to your mom, I shouldn't have to clean my room today and I will tell you why later. You would say, Mom, I shouldn't have to clean my room today and here are the reasons. So a few things to look for in your thesis statement are words like should or because. You want to be making a specific argument and backing that up with some of your main ideas. An example of this is maybe the old way of doing a thesis would be something like, this paper will talk about honeybees and the problem of their extinction and the way they pollinate. Now, we're not actually getting into an argument there, so a way that we could change that for a college paper would be to say, this paper will talk about honeybees and they should be preserved and protected because their pollination habits protect all of human food resources. We're taking a little bit of a risk. It's something maybe not everyone would agree with, but we're still getting all of those reasons in that would have been included in the more list-driven thesis. Another place that you can read about this is in your writer's reference. That is the handbook for the Messiah College Writing Program. You have access to that both in the text form and through Canvas. So they have a lot of helpful tips and also go through and talk about common thesis errors and the way to correct it. So I definitely suggest checking that out.
Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Acclamation Dance Ministry is a club on campus that basically incorporates any number of people to come and learn about dance as a form of worship.
Acclamation offers a lot of classes. We offer 3 levels of modern, 3 levels of jazz, 3 levels of ballet, and a point class, and 2 levels of tap.
Anyone can be involved in Acclamation. We want our doors to be open and arms to be welcoming in for people if they want to learn dance and learn that through a means of worship. We are a student-run organization. All of our officers are students on campus. All of our teachers are students on campus. And we are a ministry first and foremost.
I think one of my favorite parts of Acclamation is just being able to put homework down, just being able to go to the dance studio and have a good time with friends and worship God.
It's definitely been a constant in my life and a constant in my time at Messiah.
I also really love the community. I love that it really is a family.
It's a community of people that are encouraging and lifting me up in my danceability, not tearing me down.
I came to college where dance had always been something that really separated me from God. And so coming to Acclamation, I found people that danced with me and encouraged my faith. And also just a way to worship God that I hadn't really experienced before. And honestly, now it's my most true form of worship.
For me, to use dance as a form of worship is to kind of give my body as a living sacrifice.
To give back to God what He's given to us, so just to use our talents and abilities for His glory.
For me, it means to just use movement in all that you are. In Acclamation, we say audience for one, you're dancing for God, and that's what praising God through dance is.
It's me recognizing that this gift is not my own and it's something that I want to give the Lord and also share with others that this isn't my own ability, but it's God's. For people who want to join Acclamation, join.
I've seen many people who have tried it for the first time and just absolutely love it, so just give it a try.
And it's just a place to come have fun, really, and learn how to glorify God in a new way. And it's, if you've never danced for God before, it's a really cool way to praise Him.
Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Good evening and welcome to MCLIVE here on MC77. I'm JoJo King.
And I'm JC Seltzer. We've got a great show for you tonight.
First up, we'll have Sarah Henry here with us to talk about her Into the City trip to Atlanta, Georgia.
Then, Hannah Bierce will be joining us to talk about the Writing Center and her experience as a writing tutor.
Stick around, you won't want to miss this. We'll be right back after the break.
Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Welcome back to MC Live here on MC77. We've got Sarah Henry here with us to talk about her Into the City networking trips. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So tell me, how did you hear about the Into the City trips to begin with?
Yeah, so I have always been involved with the Career and Professional Development Center. They've got a great staff over there, so they've got all different events going on throughout the year. They've got the mocktails event, they have the Pizza with Professionals, so they constantly promote their own activities they have going on, and it just sounds like such a great opportunity. I knew I had to apply.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your experience on these trips. What was that like?
Yeah, so I went to Chicago last year, and then I just got back from Atlanta in October. So there's just a crazy amount of networking condensed into 2 days. So you go to about 5 different professional places, and then you go and you network with groups of people at like luncheons and stuff like that. So you go anywhere from Chick-fil-A to Pinewood Studios, which is where they make the Marvel movies, to museums, and we even went to LinkedIn and their headquarters in Chicago. So there's a lot of different crazy opportunities for all different majors.
That's amazing. So you mentioned you went to Atlanta and Chicago. What made you want to go back after your first trip?
Yeah, so the first one I went to was Chicago. I had never really been off the coast at all. I had never really traveled before I came to Messiah, so I figured, why not? I'll just apply and I'll go.
Right.
And I had such a good time the first time, and now that I'm a senior, I know I need to really get involved in that job search. So I figured going to another into the city can't hurt, so going to another completely different city. I grew up outside of New York City, and that was the only way I thought you could do a city. That's what I thought what all cities were like. And now that I've been to two very different cities, I know that there's so many more options out there for what life can look like while living in a city.
That's awesome. So which was the first one you went to?
Chicago.
So what was your favorite part about your Chicago trip?
This is going to sound so strange, but we went out at around 9 o'clock to go get pizza somewhere, and there weren't people on the streets. Like, you know how New York City is the place where nobody ever sleeps? Well, apparently people take naps in Chicago because there was no one on the streets at 9 o'clock.
Oh
and
my gosh.
It was just beautiful to be out there by yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an experience you'll never forget, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what about Atlanta? What was your favorite part about that trip?
I think driving through, we actually got to go through Pinewood Studios, which they never give tours. So that was really impressive. We couldn't walk through. We were just driving through all the different places in vans, and we had to verbally sign a non-confidentiality agreement, so we couldn't share anything about it. But just the experience itself was amazing. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So out of these two cities that you did visit, if you could pick one to go back to, which one would you go and why?
So I actually have some job opportunities in Atlanta, so
awesome.
I might say Atlanta, but I really did love just the culture of Chicago. There was just something about it that I really enjoyed. I don't know if it's the architecture or just the people I met, but both cities had something very distinct and very beautiful about them, so I would go back to either.
That's awesome. So what is something from these trips that you took away that you can apply to your future jobs, that you can apply to your future in general?
Yeah, it's almost impossible to pick one because there's just so many different opportunities you see. There's so many different people giving you so many different kinds of advice. There are some people that say, follow your dreams, go crazy, go big. And then there are some people who will say, hey, take a stable job and then you can follow your dreams outside of your job. And I thought it was really interesting to hear from someone who had started their own paper design business and then someone else who worked in IT at Chick-fil-A and said, hey, outside of my work, which I really enjoy my job, but it's not what I went to school for, but I do enjoy it. But outside of that, I get to work to try and stop the sex trafficking industry, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have a stable job. So just trying to figure out what your priorities are and realizing that you really do have the world at your fingertips if you really do put in the effort to go out and try and pursue that future.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for any students who are maybe a little bit on the fence or maybe are wondering if they should even look into it, what would you say to them about this Into the City trip?
Absolutely, you should apply because the next one is to Philadelphia, and so if you don't want to be trapped in a car for 14 hours like I was going to Atlanta, then this would be a great starting point because it's only probably in a van, probably about 3 hours, so nice and easy to go. But there's just so many different opportunities, and it really applies to every major. Because I'm a double major in English and Communications with a minor in philosophy, and my partner also went.
Wow.
He's a civil engineer. We both had great opportunities.
That's awesome.
And it really can apply to every major. So I would recommend that everyone go.
And that one's local, so that's pretty close to home.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today and telling us a little more about that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Hannah Biersto and Olivia McCollum with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to GoMessiah.com, the official website of Messiah College Athletics. On the homepage, you can find recent stories, a social media directory including general athletics and sports-specific accounts, and the Falcon YouTube stream. Scrolling down, you can view upcoming events with stats, audio, and video links if available, as well as recent results, including box scores and recaps. In those recaps, you can read the story along with view the photo gallery, next game information, team schedule, and roster. Game stats are on the side, and you can even watch the highlight of the night. These highlights are made possible by GoMessiah.tv, where you can view live streams and stats for all home games, regardless of where you are. GoMessiah.com, your home for everything Falcon.
This is the Grantham Community Garden. We grow over 40 different crops here, all grown organically, all by students, always student-led. We're one of the most profitable student organizations on campus. Everything that we grow here we sell, and that keeps the garden going and also pays the people who work in it. And now we're trying to work our way towards being a small farm. We have more paid student workers than we've ever had before.
Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Well, GoMessiah.tv allows us to reach a greater fan base for all of our parents of student athletes who are out of state and can't make it to a lot of our games, or even our growing alumni base. It's awesome to be able to have the opportunity for them to touch base with us and watch our games live and enjoy seeing where the program's going.
Here on MC77 with Hannah Bierstow and Olivia McCollum from the Writing Center. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
That's great. So can you tell me what your positions are at the Writing Center?
I'm a tutor, just a general writing tutor at the Writing Center.
I'm the head tutor at the Writing Center.
Okay. So what is it like being the head tutor at the Writing Center?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of administrative duties, but one of the best parts is being a mentor to students like Hannah, who are new tutors, who have maybe just joined the Writing Center, who are currently training to be tutors.
So what was the process like to become tutors at the Writing Center?
Well, there's an online application like there is for most things these days. What I did was I tried to network with the Writing Center. I went there a few times for appointments, talked with people like Olivia beforehand.
How long have you guys been working at the Writing Center?
This is actually my first semester.
Wow, okay.
This will be my 3rd year working at the Writing Center.
So now, were you originally just a tutor before you became head tutor?
My sophomore year, I was just a tutor, and then my junior year, I became assistant head tutor, and now my senior year, I am a head tutor. Yeah.
Did you have to go through the same process to become a head tutor as a regular tutor? Or?
Yeah, so I filled out the same application that Hannah did. I visited the Writing Center. I had a similar interview with our faculty director, David Jaka. So I had to do many of the same things. So part of becoming the head tutor or the assistant head tutor is just showing leadership and initiative as like a regular tutor. Yeah.
Did you guys have to do like a test for writing or anything like that?
More of a mock session where you pretended to grade a paper for one of the other tutors, even though they hadn't written it, to see how you give feedback and how you talk with students, talk them through their work.
What are typical hours for as a writing tutor?
It's about 8 to 10 hours a week. And it's nice because you get to pick your own hours.
So do you guys just do academic papers, or do you do fiction writing or anything like that?
We welcome whatever people bring into us. So that can be like a master's thesis, or it can be poetry or fiction writing. Typically what we see are FYS or CCC papers, but we welcome anything.
Where is the Writing Center located?
In the library on the first floor, on the left, far hand side, past disability services, way in the corner.
So what is the hardest part of being a tutor?
The most difficult part for me of being a tutor is dealing with students who find writing stressful. For most people, writing fills them with a lot of anxiety, and so bringing those anxieties to the Writing Center can be very difficult sometimes. And often it's just reassuring people to have confidence in their paper and in their writing abilities. It's difficult sometimes for people to believe, like, oh, I can't believe I'm a good writer, but that is really important.
So for your own papers, do you use each other as tutors, or how does that work?
Well, sometimes what we do is we schedule plans with each other, and that's rather funny to see them. Like, oh yeah, I'm here for the Writing Center. Oh, have you been here before? All that stuff. But yeah, it's a good network of people to have for helping with writing.
So if someone would want to be a tutor, do they have to go into the Writing Center or fill out, like, I know you mentioned filling out an application, but do they have to physically go in, or do they go on the website for that, or how's that?
Yeah, so typically we make our application live at the end of fall semester or at the end of spring semester. So if you were to go and look right now, there wouldn't be anything available on the Messiah Jobs Network, which is where you would go. Usually we send out a mass email notifying students that job posting is live. Yeah.
What is the most rewarding part of being a tutor?
I think it's when you get positive feedback from students who say, oh, I get it now, or I'm more confident in my writing, or I feel like, even just, I feel like this helped. And it's like, oh yay, I helped with something, you know.
For me, the most rewarding part is just being able to interact with so many different students and learn about their different topics and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for coming on. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this evening. Thank you to Sarah, Sarah Henry, Hannah Vieristo, and Olivia McCollum for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in next Monday for Falcon Update at 7, or check out our YouTube channel for more campus news and musical performances. Have a great night. Oh, that was confusing. Well, thank you guys for coming. Are you looking for a job on campus for next semester? The Pulse is hiring a design manager, graphic design assistant, and a business manager. Apply today.
Welcome back to MC77. I'm JoJo King, and here is this week's campus calendar. Have the unexpected twists and turns of life thrown you for a loop this year? Are you feeling challenged by the upcoming holidays? Reflect, process, and prepare for the holiday season with the Blue Christmas Dance performance put on by the Messiah College Theater and Dance Department. The performance will be in Poorman Black Box Theater on Wednesday, November 15th from 7 to 8 p.m. The event is completely free, but due to limited seating, you must reserve a ticket by either visiting www.messiah.edu/tickets or reserving tickets at the door as available. Messiah will host a choristers workshop featuring Dan Forrest. Forrest will put together a concert featuring Messiah College Women's Ensemble, the Messiah College Symphony Orchestra, as well as other groups. The event will take place on Thursday, November 16th from 7 to 9 p.m. in Palmer Hall. Tickets are $10 for adults, $3 for youth under 18, and $5 for senior citizens. This weekend is your last chance to see Messiah College's production of The Tempest. The last performances of the semester are Thursday, November 16th and Friday the 17th from 8 to 10 p.m. and Saturday, November 18th from 3 to 5 p.m. in Miller Theater. Tickets for the play are $10 for adults, $7 for senior citizens, youth, and Messiah students with a valid ID. Messiah College will be hosting a student-run concert on Wednesday, November 15th at 7 p.m. The concert is put on by the Contemporary Music Center, or CMC, from Nashville, Tennessee. CMC takes students from around the country and teaches them how to run their own concert tour. This year's tour includes some of Messiah's own, including Isaiah Snyder, Gemma Detweiler, Jason Polanski, and Casey Lehman. So get out and show some support for your friends as they put on this completely free concert at the Student Union on Wednesday. That's all for this week's campus calendar. I'm JoJo King.
And now, a public service announcement from Messiah College Athletics.
Colin, did you see Bender's sweet goal at the soccer game last night?
No, dude, I didn't.
Ah, no worries. Go Messiah.com. It's right here.
Oh, sweet. The highlight of the night, man. Must have been a sweet goal.
Yeah.
Satchel, player of the week? Congrats.
Wait, what?
Just go Messiah.com it.
Look at that. Go Messiah.com.
Hey, Coach Good. Oh, hey, Steph. Have you seen your pictures from the game last night?
No, I haven't.
No worries. Go Messiah.com it.
All right. Oh, wow. These are great. Oh, and there's one of me.
See more photos of Brooke Good and check out stats, recaps, and highlights of your favorite Falcon teams on GoMessiah.com. Don't forget to follow the Falcons on social media.